Time for Media Watch. James Credence here. James, there's been this massive, massive row over many, many months here in France, years maybe, about the burqa, about the full-face Muslim veil, and about that being against the law. Now, clearly, various people have been upset about this. Some people say it should be banned. Others say, no, it's a right, it's a cultural right, it's a religious right. Now, there's been a court case.
That's right. This is in the town of Meaux, just outside of Paris. It's the town. The mayor of that town is Jean-François Copé. Now he's the head of Nicolas Sarkozy's UMP party, and I suppose Nicolas Sarkozy has gone down that road of seeking far-right votes. In any case, some would say it's no coincidence that this happened in a town where the mayor is a UMP bigwig. So here you see niqab, two women, I suppose condamnées à des amendes. I'm always finding those translations.
Two women fined.
Fined, exactly. Yeah. They got 120 euros, one of them, and 80 euros the other. Hind Amas and Najat Nait were their names. Now, the thing is, they were giving a birthday cake to Jean-François Copé, clearly as a provocation, out on front of the city hall in Meaux, dressed in their niqabs,
so
and that's how they got
This was a publicity
arrested.
stunt that they staged, which led to them being arrested for wearing the niqabs in public.
That's right. And this law came in, it was on the 11th of April 2011. And the thing is, this case didn't get a massive amount of attention in France today. You can see various media here were talking about it, Le Monde, Le Nouvel Observateur, but actually it was internationally that this got an awful lot of attention. You can see here an article in The Telegraph, also in The Guardian. Angélique Chrysafi, she actually went to interview one of these ladies 2 days ago. She interviewed Hind Amas, who said that she's a 32-year-old divorcee. She said that she has been punched in the face, called a whore, and told to go back to Afghanistan for wearing the niqab in
all
public.
of those things despicable.
Absolutely
because that
despicable.
should not happen to anybody in any country in the world.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
And indeed, Amnesty International has been talking about this. You can see it here. They say it's a violation of their rights to freedom of expression and religion. That they're talking about the fine that they got today. So what's interesting about this really is that there's a big divide between the French coverage and the international coverage. On the France 2 and France 3 evening news this evening, they're the two big state broadcasters, there wasn't any report on this court case yet on British and American rolling news channels. It was a headline at some points during the day. So it's kind of interesting to see how the outside look at France is kind of it's taken on a greater scale really outside of France and in France itself.
Okay, I'm sure we've not heard the last about this row over the wearing of the niqab in public here in France.
Absolutely.
Shall we move on to the reaction
indeed,
over the death, the execution of Troy Davis?
That's right. There, it's been making news for days now, I suppose. And that's a photo of him on the ABC website. He was executed in the end yesterday at almost midnight, a local time, after a 4-hour delay. A lot of false hope. There were some incredible pictures as well, if you saw the live pictures at the time, of people thinking that he was actually going to get a reprieve, and joyful scenes. And then, of course, it all ended in tragedy.
The fact of the matter is here that, of course, an off-duty police officer was killed by somebody.
That's right.
Witnesses in the trial obviously incriminated Troy Davis and then retracted their statements. Some of them saying they've been threatened by the police in order to incriminate him.
Right.
No murder weapon was discovered. There's no DNA evidence linking him to the crime and no forensics at all. I mean, in terms of justice, surely there must be alarm bells ringing everywhere about this story.
Well, again, you had Amnesty International, again, were big on this one. You can see that they said Troy Davis, a life extinguished, but a campaign that isn't. You had an awful lot of human rights groups saying that there was just too much doubt about this case. Now, what's interesting is this drew massive international attention as well. You had people on the social networking site Twitter talking about Troy Davis, talking about too much doubt, saying the whole world is watching. These are hashtags which bring together basically people putting messages up online of the same theme.
I was watching American TV in the early hours to get the coverage coming straight from Georgia at the prison there, and whilst watching sort of what was happening on Twitter at the same time, the trending of Troy Davis had actually stopped. Twitter had stopped it. They said it was offensive.
It's pretty extraordinary because actually today, R.I.P. Troy Davis was up at the very top of the trends on Twitter. That means that there were an awful lot of people talking about this. But actually, a lot of people online are saying that these are African-American websites. Did Twitter erase the Troy Davis hashtag as a trending topic? Here another guy is asking the same question. So an awful lot of people have been saying, was it taken off the trending list? And indeed, one person went into the city of Atlanta in Georgia and found that even there, with a very big African-American community, it wasn't supposedly a trending topic. So people are saying, did Twitter erase this, and why? So it's pretty extraordinary.
Indeed. We haven't got time for Frank Ribery naming his son Saif al-Islam, have we?
I suppose we don't really,
We don't,
except for
but
that.
to mention it like that, that's amazing, isn't it? He's done that.
His third child, he called him Saif al-Islam.
Saif al-Islam.
It's pretty interesting timing, I suppose you could say.
Isn't it? Okay, James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon, that with Media Watch.